Improved compliance and enforcement drove the gains. The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) targeted fintechs and extractive firms with audits and better data sharing. Although tax rates remain unchanged until 2026, more businesses are now paying up.
FIRS has intensified audit of taxpayers, and they have been able to bring in more taxpayers into the tax net. They have been able to diversify tax collection, not just from the oil companies alone, but also companies that are registered and doing businesses that were not paying taxes before or not paying adequate taxes before, but now they have been captured and they are paying more taxes.
Non-oil revenue brought in $7.09 billion. Oil taxes, too, added $2.42 billion. Together, they exceeded targets and pushed Nigeria's tax-to-GDP ratio near 15%, up from 10%. Analysts say the momentum could help Nigeria reach its annual goal of $16.8 billion.
That was significant move. That's over 43% increase. This is supposed to be a big buffer for Nigeria in terms of fiscal sustainability and all of that.
If this is sustained to the end of the year, we are likely to experience a shift from the 10% tax to GDP ratio to almost a 15% tax to GDP ratio this year alone without the implementation of the new tax reforms. So by the time we are bringing in the tax reforms in 2026, definitely Nigeria will surpass the benchmark of 18% tax to GDP ratio.
But rising revenue hasn't slowed the country's debts. Experts warn that without better spending, gains won't cut borrowing. They urge investment in sectors that drive growth.
It's significant enough to offset some of our obligations as a nation and then minimize our borrowing plans or reduce our borrowing plans. These are what will help to boost the economy if this fund is properly utilized.
New tax laws starting 2026 will broaden VAT and sectoral levies, aiming for 18% tax to GDP by 2030. For now, the numbers suggest Nigeria's fiscal base is getting stronger. Kelechi Amekalam, CGTN Abuja, Nigeria.